Apocalypse in paradise. At least 6 people are dead as a wildfire rips through Maui, fueled by hurricane winds.
Yeah, the video is just incredible. Ed Lasco's live at LAX, talking to people just off the plane from Hawaii. Ed.
And Alex, usually when you're talking to folks just off the plane from Hawaii, they're in a good mood. They're laughing, they're joking around. Not on this night. Lot at baggage claim for Hawaiian Airlines Flight 34 just coming in from Maui. Somber mood down there. Some actually on the verge of emotions after what they saw, what they left behind on the island. Let's get to the video. Some of the latest video, some of the latest pictures coming off Maui, now a Hawaiian island under a state of emergency. There are thousands still on the island, from tourists to locals, who are in fear for their lives, honestly, as those wildfires continue to burn out of control, peppered by those hurricane-force winds that are banding around, blowing through the island. We know there are hundreds of homes destroyed, countless others damaged. We know the death toll now stands at 6 people who have died from this wildfire situation. Sadly, that death toll expected to climb even higher in the coming days. Countless others are said to be hurt. Critical burns, the big problems for the hospitals. They are dealing with it there. They're trying to, right now, airlift as many of the tourists as they can off the island, as so many are still there. Their plan is to, this late hour, to set up the convention center in downtown Honolulu, move off the people from the island starting in the morning, and at the convention center in Honolulu, perhaps housing as many 4,000 people during this tragedy as it plays out. The folks, though, from Flight 34 all saying that that flight came in tonight, but it was only half full, thinking a lot of the folks really had a hard time just getting to the airport in Maui. They described the winding road. If you've been on the island, it's a winding road that leads to the airport. There were trees, huge trees down. There were power lines down. Then you had the fire. Then you had those winds whirling around. As one person said, it was a real-life nightmare watch.
It was really scary. The flames were huge. Tanks were exploding. You could see it, and the roads were completely closed, so there was like no way out of the situation.
We got evacuated at like 3 this morning. We saw the fire last night. I mean, the power has been out since, with all those, like, the hurricane, the winds knocked down power lines.
You know, the fire started yesterday. We could see the smoke up on the hills because we did a little bit of sightseeing.
It was like really scary, and just like thinking about our friends are still on the island.
So we've been out with power since Tuesday, all day Tuesday. Struggle to find food.
The hotel we were at, we were a little lucky. They did have a little bit of food on board, but they ran out like yesterday afternoon. Most people didn't have anything, and there were a lot of people really struggling.
The west side was just, Lahaina area was just so sad to see.
Before the fire kicked off, just around town, just the trees that blew over. I mean, we're talking huge, like 100-year-old looking trees blowing over all over the place. I mean, power lines were down.
I've been there 15 times. Never had winds like that. It was crazy. And we're from California, so we know fire.
Now live, she says we know fire. They also, all of those folks from Southern California, know the dreaded Santa Ana winds, and every one of them telling me that the winds they had in Maui over the last day through tonight made our Santa Anas look like a morning breeze. Those winds were that terrifying. The historic town of Lahaina said to be a total loss. Some of those folks said they actually heard about folks down in Lahaina jumping into the ocean just to escape the flames as the fire roared down the hillside. But many of the folks tonight off Flight 34 say their hearts, their prayers are with a lot of the folks back on the island, especially a lot of the resort workers who helped them get to the airport, pack, stay calm, even though those workers had fear that they might be losing their own homes. For now, we're live here at Los Angeles International. Back to both of you we go.
You think about the usual paradise in Hawaii, and to think of those images, so upsetting. Ed, thank you.